Hello, this is John McConnin, a realtor and attorney in San Diego, California, and I'm going to explain to you. Now, this strategy didn't come from me. It came from an agent in North Carolina that I was of counsel to his firm over 10 years ago when he was doing internet lead generation and was looking to buy and sell companies. But I asked him what made him so successful because he was able to list homes just over the phone, and he said that he did his listings at 8%. He took 4 and he offered 4. But because he was offering 4 on the MLS, his clients were getting higher nets. And I found that to be incredible. I adapted what he did in my own practice, and I've been doing this in my own practice for 10 years. Now, during the short sale crisis, it wasn't necessary and didn't happen because the clients weren't that concerned about the higher net, and the banks just wanted a reasonable net. But now, many clients either want to sell fast or they don't want to have a lot of hassles. And believe me, this offering 4% to the buyer side via the MLS really lowers hassles. So let me get into the presentation. I'll be happy if you find this on the website or even at YouTube. I'll respond to comments. I'll also give you an opportunity to get that realtor I work for wrote a book on the subject. I recently, about 6 months ago, licensed that book from him, so I can provide it to you for free. On our website, you'll probably see a sign-up form for the book for free. And you're also welcome to call me. We'll discuss that. Well, again, Cal Law Realty is the website if you're looking for me. CALAW Realty.com, California Lawyers Realty. But let me get into the presentation. Okay, so let me, the click didn't work. Now it'll work. So if I go down here, there we go. Most realtors need more money. We're aligning human nature and the MLS to get more money for your home. So we can get your home at the top of the range and sell it, or even above the range if there's something special about your home. Therefore, most listing agents need more money. That's who you're going to be interacting with at first, the listing agent. Realtors, mentally, we break it down between the listing agent and the buyer's agent, or in the old days, list side and sell side, which didn't make a lot of sense. So I frequently explain it as listing agent and buying agent. If you want to go into the history of it, I can go. It's because the buyers weren't really represented. Everyone was both working for the sellers, but that's changed over time. I am a realtor. I am an attorney. The reason why I'm explaining this is in my practice, I feel like I have to explain all this stuff to you. How to get your highest net. Yes, I see there's 2 ways. One, sell your home on your own. But again, I still think you need to have that buyer. Buyers spend more money when they feel comfortable and they're represented. So I still think you should make arrangements with me or some other realtor. If you're selling yourself, to tell the buyer, hey, I'll keep you protected. Or this way that I'm explaining, offer 4% on the MLS. I use this strategy myself when selling my family's homes. We've sold a few times, or selling our investment flips. I have real estate partners. We've purchased and sold homes. We flip them out. And I recently sold it for a person who was flipped a renovation on for $1.2 million and on the edge of La Jolla and PV on a great hill. He was at the top of the market. I know by offering 4%, we kept the buyer and the buyer's agent in the deal. I think the buyer's agent got a good property because it's a heck of a view on a flat piece of land, but it was what the comps wanted to say. And and his agent was motivated to keep him in there because he was getting a heck of a payday on a 4% on 1.2 million is a pretty good payday. And it leverages, it aligns the buyer's agent with your needs, the seller's needs all day long. Whatever the price range, you just think about it. Listing agents need more money. That's why they don't tell you about this. They don't want to take 2 and offer 4. They're like, I could get 3. When I've explained this to clients in my law firm, just as a consult or other times when talking to people, they come back and say, I tell them, don't sign anything. These agents are great at getting you to sign right then. Don't sign anything unless they agree to the strategy. Just say, I'll talk to my attorney. And they come back with some of the best lines ever. Some of them's good, some of them's awful, some of them's just scripted. A lot of it's scripted garbage that you hear from the trainers who think that you can garbage your way into intelligent sellers' homes. But anyway, some of them are actually pretty thoughtful. But the best one is it's the same thing. It's the reason why I spend money on my website to bring buyers to my website. I want to tell the sellers, hey, I've got 10 buyers looking in your price range in your area right now. We'll talk to them first, and maybe we won't even have to put on the MLS if you're happy with the price. But that's the tricky thing, because I do believe, and I have to explain this to them, if we put on the MLS, we're probably going to get more. And that brings up the conversation, but I just feel it's my job to explain it to them. But the agents are like, well, I'm going to bring the buyers to your property. That's why you're going to work with us, and we're going to get you the highest net really fast. And I'm like, great. Tell them great. That's why if you bring the buyer, you're going to get the 4% too. You'll get the full 6%, or the full 1.5 and 4, the 5, or even the 1 and 3.5, or whatever the numbers are. I fully recommend 4 though, but we can negotiate with the listing agent. Now, and again, if it's a $10 million property and the listing agent spending $30,000 on photography and marketing, there may be other considerations. I mean, that's, there's a negotiation. It's not, realtors have to charge one price. No, they're not even allowed to price fix like that. An individual can say, I only take 6, but then you don't have to work with them either. If they're taking 6, they should go 2 and 4. I believe that if they have your interest in their heart, that's the way they're going to do it. If they bring the buyer, great. They get their full commission that they were hoping to get. We just covered that. Typically, you're going to go like this. 6% is going to go 3 and 3. 5% you got to watch out. Sometimes they go 3 and 2. And I think that defeats the whole raison d'etre. That's sort of the way the English people say the French. I couldn't even imagine to say the French properly. The reason to be for the MLS is that the listing agent only sells your home 3%, maybe 5% of the time in some areas, in some markets, sometimes less than 2%. And it's really because you're letting all these other realtors out there who have buyers that have brought them in for their own websites, they're paying for leads, or they're working with a relative or a family member. There's thousands of potential agents out there who could sell your home. The MLS lets them all know they can look. The MLS also puts the properties out there all over the net, even though it's sometimes still on national websites, all over the net. And those agents, and buyer's agents, like to be represented by somebody. Even when selling your property on your own, if you think you can get that highest net, talk to me. I've had experience doing that myself before as an agent 15 years ago. And I know that buyers like to be represented. They like to be protected. They like buyer's warranties. They like to not see lots of problems with the property. So that's why I think it's good to get them inspected first. Unless you disclose all these things, buyer's agents like their hands held. They like to be protected. They like the comfort of working with an agent and or an attorney or both. And so the reason the MLS works for people, the reason why realtors are in business is because the MLS works because we spray out half that commission to the buyer's agents, and it motivates them to work hard to bring buyers to the property. Now, when you're going 2.5%, 2%, you're not going to get the motivated buyers because those agents, they're like gold. They're already sometimes paying reload companies 40%, 25, 30% of the commission to the reload company for the privilege of bringing a buyer because they know that buyer is motivated. Or if they work on a team that generates leads off the internet, which is expensive, I do it. The team keeps 50, 60% of the money sometimes. So it's really nice if you can set these incentives up so the broker doesn't take the money from the buyer's agent or the reload company. So they pay their normal splits, and then this 1% comes out as basically 100% bonus to them, or 50%, depending on what their numbers are. But sometimes they only make 1%. If they get to make that other 1%, they're really stoked, and they're going to bring their buyers who are motivated to buy that weekend because they have to. Their families aren't stoked on the move. They want to get their home that they know their wife or their family or their husband is going to like. And they're not that worried about $200 a month or $50,000 more on the price of the home because they're probably making a lot more than that with the transfer. So you love reload buyers. There are other motivated buyers that buyer's agents are working with. And when you let those buyer's agents know, hey, we love you for having your good buyers, for educating your clients. We respect you. We're going to pay you more for it. Everybody loves it. And you're going to see, even if your home's on the top of the range, you're going to see offers, if your property shows well, like $300,000. So you could be listed at $700,000. You're going to see a $695,000, $697,000 offer. It's just uncanny how often it comes in $3,000 under your number. Now, you can't go 25% over the range, but you can go over and we've done it recently I did it for a property with great views in Pacific Beach. You can go over the range. You can go over the comps if you do it right. So that's why offering 4%, because it brings motivated agents with their best buyers to your property. We just discussed that too. So here, the crack is to talk to your agent and say, look, I still want to pay you the same. I don't really need this money to come out of my pocket, but I'd like you to offer 4%. Now, if you want an extra week or two to bring that buyer and it doesn't conflict with my moving schedule, let's do it. So you've got 2%. You've got 2 weeks or 3 weeks. We can have a pre-MLS situation. You can advertise in the neighborhood. You can do an open house. Try to collect that whole commission. But when we go on the MLS, I want it for 4%. I want you to go to the broker caravans and offer that extra percent. Let them know it's there. I want you to send out some flyers. I want you to advertise. Send out emails. Let all those agents out there with buyers know they get an extra percent for coming to my property and letting their motivated buyers buy it. So in short, I'm already covering the results. I discussed some of them. I've seen it. I do it in my own practice. I learned the strategy over 10 years ago from a realtor in North Carolina, as I said, who was doing 8% listings. I've adapted what he did in my own practice. I love this strategy. It saves everybody time and hassle. It's just a great strategy. Depending where you see this, if you have questions, on YouTube or on my website, you can leave comments below it if you've seen on one of my websites with the comment sections. I'll tell you what. If you come to Cal Law Realty, CALAW Realty.com, California Lawyers Realty, CALAW Realty.com, I will have a link to where you can download the book from Matt. Matt's my friend who set this up 10 years ago. It's a great read. I licensed a copy of this book. I was like, I could have written this on my own. I can certainly do videos on it. But his book, it's so well written with great humor. You have to know Matt to understand the book matches the way he is. It's 80 pages, but it's big space. It's an easy read. You can probably get through it. If you're motivated to sell your home, you'll probably get motivated. You'll probably read it in one quick sitting. Also, if you want to talk to me about, I'll tell you what, on my website, there will also be a link to home values. Fill that form out. You'll see what the comps are, the computer algo comps. I'll review them, let you know, whether those comps are good. Also, we adjust it based on whether right now in San Diego it's early spring 2015. The inventory is low. I would price aggressively. I'd go up. If I was offering 4%, I'd go up higher. We'll talk about that. At some point, you might get too far out of the range, but we'll discuss the pros and cons of where we're pricing your home, and I'll also let you know how much more I think you can get by offering that extra 1%. Then you can negotiate with me about how much I want to take. And believe me, all those realtors say we don't negotiate with our fees. Lawyers and doctors don't. When I'm a cash buyer, when I go to cash, I got health insurance, but it's a big deductible, and my kid hurts himself. I frequently go, I'm paying cash. Doctor, do we have a cash price versus an insurance price? And frequently, it's like 50%. People negotiate with me when I was a lawyer all the time about my fees. They're like, hey, I got to pay for this expert and everything else. I can't pay $10,000 this month or $5,000 this month in legal fees, and negotiate all the time. So negotiate. I love it. You tell me why. I mean, if we're going to the top of the range and your home shows great, we're going to sell fast, I'll take less. If I'm going to do a lot of work, I'm going to let you know why I think I need to make that much. But I'm still not going to let you go. I mean, if you really want to sell your home, I want to work with you. But that's not to say that if you don't want to work with me, fine. Boom. I'm not going to keep bugging you. I got other places to go. And as a lawyer, I really can't do it anyway. Thanks. Talk to you later. John McConnin.